Hello everyone, welcome to Tasty in Situ. Today we make ugu, that is pumpkin leaves, and ogbono soup. Today we are starting off with boiling water that we'll be using for two different purposes. Later in the video you'll get to see what I'll use the water for. And for the protein, I'll be using about a pound of goat meat, which I am washing very well. And to the goat meat, I'm using this purple onion, my favorite. I love it, packed with flavor, giving it a rough chop to add. The goat meat should be sauced very well because a well-sauced meat results in a great tasting soup. And so, to an empty pot, we're going to add the goat meat, the chopped onion. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt and a pepper cube. I'm also adding a pair of bouillon cubes. The goat meat is going to cook in its own juices. You can already see at the bottom of the pot it's heating up already, but we're just going to leave it there for a while and cover. The goat meat is going to be cooking for about 1 hour, and so we need to add some water to make sure that the cooking process continues. You keep an eye on it so that it doesn't burn. I have just added the stockfish to the goat meat so both of them could cook at the same time. They both have about the same cooking time. For the soup, we're going to be using several ingredients. In the photo you could see dadawa, you could see crayfish, dry fish, the ogbono itself, palm oil, and that's the stockfish I just used, and this is the ugu leaf. As soon as I saw the quantity of the ugu leaf I had, I knew that this wouldn't be enough, and so I decided to add to it. For now, this is what the fresh ugu leaves actually look like. Just beautiful, fresh. It looks really gorgeous in this soup. This is the chopped version, fresh, and so I decided that I would substitute it for kale. Kale and the ugu leaf actually have the same texture. You can see me pointing to the vein. I don't like to use that part of it. It just seems a little bit too chewy for me, and so I just take out the leaf and then work with just the leaf and leave the vein alone. Now the kale grows on the ground and so houses a lot of dirt, and so you have to give it a very good wash with plenty of water. And for the kale, this time I'm going to blanch it. In order to blanch, you have to pour very hot water on it. This was one of the reasons why I was boiling hot water at the beginning. Now you put it in that hot water for about 2 to 3 minutes and then you strain. Having strained the kale, you could put it in a cold bath or an ice bath to stop the cooking process. I just use cold water from the tap and it stops the cooking process. It does exactly the same thing. Now here I am squeezing the kale to make sure all the water content is out, and then I'll chop this. Now this will act as my fresh ugu, so to say, in the soup. Even though I'm going to add the dry ugu, I'm going to add the kale to it. Welcome new subscribers, welcome existing subscribers. So good to have you all here. Thank you for joining us. If it's your first time, subscribe, share, like the video. Now we are back to cooking. We have the palm oil. You don't allow this palm oil to heat up too much. Just at about the time it melts, you add your powdered ogbono. That is what you just saw me add. Now watch very gently what happens when I pour the hot water. I left this whole part, didn't fast forward anything, so that you gently see the transformation that happens between these three things: ogbono, palm oil, and hot water. You begin to see that the mixture thickens, and I'm not just talking about just thickening, it thickens, and then the ogbono now begins to stretch, aka draw. Ogbono comes in a seed-like form. You blend the seed and then you get this powder that I have just used. But if you don't have the seeds, you could also buy the powder from a reliable source and then you use it. You can see that I'm adding some hot water to make sure that everything gets mixed in, no lumps in there. And so you see me like whisk it, trying to mush out any single lump in there. You don't want lumps in your soup. But this is exactly how it is when you want to make the ogbono. You whisk and make sure you smooth it out, and then you allow it to cook for roughly 20-25 minutes. In between, you could add some more ingredients, just like you would see me do in a little bit. Right here, I'm turning down the heat just to ensure proper cooking, and to it I'm adding a 1/3 cup crayfish, 1/2 cup dry fish, some dadawa, that is locust bean. It's a very fragrant spice. Once this dadawa hits the soup, I tell you guys, the soup just becomes so fragrant. Your whole house becomes so fragrant. It's a very traditional spice that is used in many families, in many homes. Now let's take a quick look to see what our goat meat is doing. Yes, with that poke, you see that the meat gives, and so it's soft and ready to be added to the soup. Off the goat meat goes and into the soup. The goat meat and the ogbono do go very well. Remember, the stockfish is already mixed into the goat meat, and you add the stock and continue to cook. I'm adding an additional pepper cube, a pair of bouillon cubes, and some salt to taste. This is a teaspoon of salt. Mix in and still continue to cook. At this point, you can see it bubbling and really cooking. That is the ugu leaf I just added, the dry one. You can see how scanty it looks in the soup. Now you know why I decided to add the kale. Now the kale and the ugu, like I said earlier, have very, very close textures. And so here I am adding the chopped blanched kale to add that beautiful green to the ogbono soup. The ogbono soup is ready, guys. This soup, guys, when you eat it with pounded yam, oh my goodness, tastes really good. Now if you don't know how to make pounded yam, please watch my how to make fufu video, which I have uploaded. I'm going to put a link in the description box for it, but here you have it. Your ugu, which is pumpkin leaf, which I boosted with kale, is made with ogbono, is ready and served with pounded yam. Enjoy!